All right, look live, Jarvis. It's playtime.
What do you want to talk about?
Wrestling! And here!
Wrestling?
Why?
It's wrestling.
It's wrestling.
Why?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Why not? Why not?
It's fake.
Fake? What the hell are you talking about? Fake? It's not fake.
Fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Okay, wrestling.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to tonight's Wrestling Gold Friday night. How is everybody doing this evening? Hopefully everybody's Friday's getting started on the right way. Let me see here. I was just checking something because always on time but never prepared. But yes, this is a Wrestling Gold Friday night where we talk about the glory days of professional wrestling, back when wrestling was wrestling and wrestling was real, because damn it, it is still real to us. Yes, I am here live in a living color. Got a little bit of space to stretch out now. I ain't got crap falling all over me. Not right now anyway. Give it time. Something might fall on me. You know how it goes. But anyway, yes. Yes, like I said, I am alive and in living color, baby. Like the Dream would say, we all alive and in living color. So yeah, so if you're watching this live, you know what to do. Join me in the chat. Share some memories. Tell some BS stories. Talk some BS. Or just be friendly and say hello. That is always cool. Yes, by the way, I am home. I'm not in the confines of a hotel tonight. Next week I will be back in Colquitt, Georgia. So for you folks that live in Colquitt, how you doing? I will say nothing really there, houses, farms, and stuff like that. But I will say it was such a pleasant drive. Not on I-85, no interstates, just mostly back roads. Took mostly back roads back this evening. What was it, Wednesday? I had to come back, but my GPS decided to take me towards Columbus, 185 to I-85, and for those of you who do live in Georgia in the metro Atlanta area, they know I-85 around close to Atlanta, I-85, I-20, I-75 is a shit show. I-285, don't forget I-285. It is a shite show. But yes, I will be back there this week. Staying in Bainbridge though, but because no hotels. There's some B&Bs there. I know the crew I'm working with is staying in a B&B, but I've had this conversation before with people. I think I probably mentioned on this show before that I have a hard enough time sleeping in hotels. I'm pretty sure sleeping in a B&B is going to be that much harder. But speaking of work, salute all those hard-working men and women who did the grind all week and did the grind, are going to be doing the grind this weekend. You know what time it is? It is time for the Friday Night Toast. It is time for me to shut my phone or the volume on my phone down. So let's go ahead and do that too. See, told you. Always on time, but never fully prepared. Okay, so click that. Oh yeah, we know. Click that down a little bit. That's off. That's off. That's on. Let me go ahead and click. Son of a bee sting. So yes, I do encourage people to open up a cold one right now. Now, I will encourage that it does not have to be an alcoholic drink, and doesn't have to be exactly a cold one either, which I should probably cover up the name. I don't want to get copyrighted for that one. Um, and plus, they're not a sponsor. Don't have a sponsor. Give it a few Friday nights. I might need some kind of sponsor. So here we go. So y'all don't know it. This is a ball. This is a shot glass. I'm not faking the shit. So yes, but I do gotta put it down so I can put. Ooh. Put the top on because I am clumsy. Let me go ahead and move the bottle over here. So, son of a bee sting. So yes, give a toast to all the hard-working men and women, to all those men and women who are chasing their dreams to become a professional wrestler, doing the weekend grind, going from town to town for. It is a hard truth, but it is little to no money starting out. But hopefully, in the end, you will achieve whatever your goals is once you enter the sport of professional wrestling. So, salute to you folks. Salute to all the working people. Cheers. Yes, the weather is getting warmer, so I might have to switch back to cold beer next week. Depends on how the weather is. But that's a good drink for wintertime. Gets to get you well. Get you how do I call it? Makes the belly warm. Makes the belly warm. Makes everything warm. Makes you feel good too. That being said,
Business may pick up here.
my cold drink will be the Monster Energy drink. So yeah, I'm kind of stalling for time. See who pops up in the chat here this evening. And by the way, yes, I am sort of looking around, shopping around, doing some research here, and going to find another desktop. I got a decent new laptop here, but man, I hate this shuffling around. It kind of, I don't say it makes it difficult, but you gotta like reset stuff up. Like when I go out of town, I use one camera. In case you can't tell here, I'd use two. I'll show y'all in a minute here. So, well, you'll notice later. But yeah, I'm trying to be a little high tech. Two cameras here. That way I can look at y'all when I'm reading my notes here, and look at y'all when I'm just shooting the shit. Yes, business is picked up. I already said my first wordy dirt. Done said shit. But yeah, so what else is going on? So yes, tonight we're gonna do today in wrestling history. Of course, today is March 6th, 2026. After that, we're gonna watch some World Class from 1987, I believe. So yeah, it's gonna be packed here, or it's gonna be action packed here, I guess. Some kind of action. Something's going on here besides me just running my mouth here, but anyway, yes. So yeah, I'm doing some research, saving some money. to buy a new laptop. So hopefully, because I know I found no, I thought I changed all my little thumbnail logos. My like you see, okay. So to me, it's gonna be on this side of the screen. So you see all my little show stamps there. So and I know it's on Spot Show. It still has the Facebook on there. So I'm like, I need to get back on that. So, and I am looking for another desktop powerful enough to handle multiple cameras, multiple live streams on multiple or live streams using multiple cameras and multiple platforms, so I can get back on either YouTube or TikTok sooner. So that might be coming in the near future. Yes, I'm just babbling now, but anyway, yeah. Let's go ahead and get right to today in wrestling history. Not too much into it today. So here we go. Today in wrestling history, on this day in 1970, Freddie Blassie defeats Rocky Johnson for the NWA America's Championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Of course, he captured 2 falls to Rocky Johnson's 1, and I believe this has happened. This is the San Francisco version of the America's Championship. A lot of heritage there. Of course, we know Rocky Johnson, Freddie Blassie. I think Pat Patterson held at one time. Of course, Roddy Piper as well held that championship. On this day in 1971, it is Val Venus's birthday. He was born on this day in 1971. Real name Sean Morley. Think last I heard, I guess he's got a marijuana store, cannabis store in California. Another outspoken person about world events now. You agree or disagree on that one. But he, smokes a bowl while thinking about it, I guess. What's up, Joe King? What's going on this evening? On this day in 1972, Tony Inoki's New Japan Pro Wrestling organization has its first show in Ottawa War Gym in Tokyo, Japan. Yes, sir, it is Friday. Carl Gotch would actually defeat Tony Inoki in the main event. The show also featured Tatsumi Fujinami, Kudetsu Yamamoto, and Asumo Kido. Also was featured on the card. Retired professional wrestling star Toya Nobori also made an appearance. Yeah, my redneck Japanese ain't that good. Yes, it is Friday. Come on, you sleeping on me? Pick it up. But anyway, glad you enjoy us, Joe. On this day in 1979, Jerry and Johnny Valiant captured the WWF World Tag Team titles from Tony Garea and Larry Zbyszko. Pause here for a minute. Joe, can you run a little bit? Yeah, actually, it was very productive. I kind of got to leave the site a little earlier than expected. Got home in time to get this set up and got my paperwork done. So yeah, boss, if you're watching this, they will be emailed to you first or sometime Sunday. Anyway, yes, they defeated Tony Garea and Larry Zbyszko. On this date in 1990, the team of Dr. Dr. Death Steve Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy defeated Stan Hansen and Junichiro Tenryu to win the All Japan World Tag Team titles. Don't think I talk enough about this team of Doc and Gordy. Usually when we talk about Terry Gordy's part of Freebirds or just him individually, sometimes Team Williams we talk about individually, but of course the famous Eliminators promo in ECW, Doc and Gordy, Doc and Gordy. We go to Japan, what do we hear about? Doc and Gordy, Doc and Gordy. Come back home to the States, what do we hear about? Doc and Gordy, Doc and Gordy. But yes, this man, they were a hell of a tag team, hell of a singles wrestlers. They used to have some outstanding, hard hitting, as Jim Ross would say, slobber knockers. Okay, when it was good old JR, WWF version, he would call he would call the hard hitting matches slobber knockers, and that's what they did. They beat the hell out of each other. Then they formed a tag team in Japan. What was it? A Miracle Violence Connection or something like that? Hey, I just asked that. I think it was a Miracle Violence Connection. I think that was it. Don't make me open up the Google. Let's see here. Just a quick search right quick, folks. But yeah, I think it was yes, the Miracle Violence Connection. That was their name. So yes. But man, they had some hard hitting matches with the Steiner brothers. Of course, that's the first matches I've seen them as a tag team when they did come to WCW and battled the Steiner brothers. Like I said, some hard hitting matches. I imagine that's why. And of course, this is when Bill Watts was executive vice president, whatever, of WCW. And of course, he's going to bring his boys. His boy, of course, was Steve Williams, but man, I think he loved him some Terry Gordy as well. I mean, he made Terry Gordy his first UWF champion. And I just listened to Michael Hayes' interview with Undertaker, and he talked about, when they went to Mid-South first, the Louisiana Territory, it was just him and Terry, and Bill Watts said the same thing. He didn't think much of Michael Hayes as a wrestler. So he got Buddy Roberts to team up with him, be that third guy. So you had Hayes running his mouth. And kind of cool how they kind of put things in perspective. Okay. Buddy was made to get his ass kicked. Everybody could kick Buddy's ass. It was Michael Hayes who started the fights with his mouth, and Terry Gordy pretty much finished the fights. Joe King, another huge loss. He had his issues on the yeah. And I remember hearing about it, but I know when he made an appearance in Global. This is before, I think, WCW as well. You can tell he lost a lot of weight. I mean, he was still big, of course, but he had lost a few pounds, quite a few pounds. And they talk about, hey, they didn't talk about the demons, the issues, but mentioned that he did have a heart attack or something like that in Japan, got trimmed down and everything. But again, at that time, we didn't know the whole story until much later. Thank you, internet. Thank you, shooting reviews and all that good stuff. Yes, I did see The Dark Side of the Ring with Terry Gordy. Pretty good one. Pretty sad. Sad story. Seemed like a good guy. But man, dude, for a guy his size, even when he was at his heaviest, the guy can go. Bump, sell with. How can I say this? And other wrestlers say, hey, kind of light on his feet, to pick up and just do a simple body slam. It kind of it could make 230 pounder, lightweight seem like a very strong individual to be able to pick him up. That's how he was able to help opponents or his opponents, stuff like that. Person he's working with, being kind of light on his feet and everything, and doing everything he can to kind of help with the match. But yeah, I think he started with like at 15 or 16 or something like that as well. Michael Hayes say I think he started. I think Michael say he started like 16 or 17. But yeah, Terry started like at like 15 or 16. Kevin Von Erich, if you've ever seen his shooting review, he gives kind of a funny story. I think his funny part was, the part, where he kind of did his impression of Terry Gordy. He said he walked up to Terry Gordy one day and said, "Man, you're a big old boy. How come you didn't, play football or anything like that?" He said Terry Gordy looked at him and said, "Coach didn't like me." So, not going to argue with that. But, and Dr. Death too. I mean, dude was like, he was he was an ass kicker too. Brock Lesnar before there was a Brock Lesnar. Unfortunately, they got in a Tough Enough thing, and I guess that kind of killed this WWF push. But by this time, if they were going to push him, it was only going to be so far, I think, because of his age and everything. But if you could got Steve Williams in his prime, oh my God. Got somebody to talk for him at least. I mean, Steve Williams was pretty intense. Didn't give the greatest interviews. Didn't give the greatest promos. Yes, I can say that because I'll wait to the day if we do, in the afterlife we do get face to face. I'll apologize then. How Brad Armstrong gave it funny account about speaking of Steve Williams in his shooting review. He was talking about the match where Steve Williams clotheslined Brad, and when he took the bump, his elbow caught Dr. Death in the eye and busted him open. He had to get like, I can't remember how many stitches, like 10 stitches or whatever. So he said after the match, after the show and everything, Brad was kind of like looking at Steve, getting all stitched up, drinking a beer, getting stitched up. Bill Watts is cussing Steve Williams out for screwing up the move. Yeah, 108 stitches. Well, yeah, that's what it said in the magazines, but we'll go with that, 108 stitches. But he's sitting there getting stitched up. Bill Watts is cussing him out. He's sitting there drinking. He's like, "Yeah, Bill, yeah." And Brad Armstrong's kind of like leaning over. It's like, he said, "Yeah, there's a door right there. And there's Doc still sitting there getting stitched up." So he kind of, stood kind of between. He's like, "Hey, Doc, I'm sorry." Doc just sat there and went, "No problem. It ain't ballet, brother." Brad was like, "Okay, we're good then," and left. But yeah, two tough son of a guns there. Unfortunately, neither one of them are with us anymore. But man, as a kid, just loved the matches of them two together. I mean, that was like the big feud in UWF. I mean, especially just two hosses. I mean, Terry Gordy and Steve Williams is going at it. Then when they teamed together, oh my God, ran roughshod in Japan. Of course, I didn't really get to see their Japan matches until this little thing called YouTube started. So was able to go back and watch some of those, and man, they were just oh gosh, amazing. Just like I said, just two ass kickers. And Japan, even all Japan, they had that reputation of being really snug with each other, laying it in, dumping people on their heads. And that's just fed right up, Doc and Gordy's alley. But yes, on this date, 1990, they did win the All Japan World Tag Team title. That's what the note said. The website, anyway. All right. On this date in 1994, we had the Public Enemy, Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge, two other guys no longer with us. Ted Petty passed away a few years before Johnny Grunge did. Pretty decent tag team. Rocco Rock was the worker of that team. I remember seeing him. I didn't know it till years later, but if you ever watched those old ICW tapes, and they had a wrestler called the Cheetah Kid, that was Ted Petty. That was Rocco Rock. Actually, the Cheetah Kid number 2, I think had 1 or 2 matches, was actually Johnny Grunge. They were both a little lighter at that time. But anyway, they defeated Kevin Sullivan and the Tasmaniac to win the ECW Tag Team titles. On that same card, Taz was busy this night. Taz would defeat Sabu for the ECW TV title, then turn around and lose that title to JT Smith, the full-blooded Italian JT Smith. Yes, if you want to see some funny, entertaining stuff, when JT Smith was with Lil Guido and all them as the FBI, the full-blooded Italians, gold. I almost somewhat like that better than when Tommy Rich and Tracy Smothers joined in, but that's just me, I guess. All right. On this date in 1995 in Smoky Mountain Wrestling in Consul, Virginia, drawing a whopping 425 people. How was JT Smith's shooting review? TV taping. It was Boo Bradley defeating Killer Cow by DQ. This match was for the vacant Smoky Mountain Wrestling Beat the Champ TV title. Later on that same taping, Killer Cow pinned Boo Bradley to win the vacant Smoky Mountain Wrestling TV title. And last but not least, Big Van Vader defeated Akira Tayu to win the vacant All Japan Triple Crown Championship. Another guy passed away a few years ago, no longer with us. Also a subject of Dark Side of the Ring. And yes, this is 1998, probably. Yeah, well, that wasn't 1998. What was it again? Oh, 1999. So yeah, that's you probably tell somewhere over there there's a flip flop hanging out. No, it's not a hemorrhoid. It's a flip. It's Paul Orndorff's flip flop lingering there somewhere. Oops. Do. All right. Sorry, just kind of look at over a few things here. But yet, that concludes today in wrestling history. Oops, where's my little? There we go. So better than what you would think. I'll take that. See that somebody like that when they do shoot, especially back in those days, usually the person who kind of made a little bit of a splash, but not a big one, but was like totally out of wrestling and didn't care. They said the most shit. They didn't care who they might make mad or anything like that. They would tell some stories and tell their opinions on what was going on. I still say it really sucks that nobody did like neither high spots or RF or anybody, except for like internet radio at the time. Basically podcast before podcast became a word. He did a few of those interviews, and I would love to see heard somebody sit down and do a shoot interview with Tom Zink. Tom Zink would have been great. And let's see, yeah, they are going to have a new season of Dark Side of the Ring. I think one of the stories will be Big Boss Man. Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm kind of loving this. Having a room, I can spin my chair a little bit and lean back. Yeah, if y'all can't hear, if I lean back so far y'all can't hear me, let me know. That way I can adjust as I'm moving around. Sometimes I just can't just sit still. But anyways, let's see. That does it for today in wrestling history. I know we're moving on pretty quickly here. Don't seem like there's much going on in wrestling history so far in January, February, March. Let's see. And March 29th falls on a Sunday, so that was the big one. WrestleMania. March 29th, 1980 whatever. WrestleMania 3 happened on my birthday. I think that's my birthday. They told me that was my birthday. Pretty sure it's written somewhere that it's my birthday. Anyway, so who's ready for a watch along? And like I said, we're going to venture to Texas again, back to World Class Championship Wrestling. Yeah, storks can lie sometimes. How well is everybody's sense of humor? Let's test that out. Why not? I was making jokes the other day. Oh, not the other day, months ago, really. And somebody was telling me about kids and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, sure, I got kids. They're living in a dumpster behind Planned Parenthood. Got a few chuckles on that one. They had to think about it a little bit and go, oh gosh, you sick bastard. Um, and one of those flat said, man, you're sick. I was like, what's wrong with that? I was a rescue baby. They kind of found me in a dumpster behind the same place and kind of like just put me together. It's almost like they had a puppy. Put me all kind of together. I said something else. I probably shouldn't say that part of that's part of the funniest part of it. Um, but but yeah, I was a rescue baby. They pulled me out of that dumpster behind Planned Parenthood. But yeah. Yeah, God, love to test people's sense of humor sometimes. A little bit twisted sense of humor, not too much. I don't have the same sense of humor as a James Gunn tweet, James Gunn joke tweets, or Google James Gunn joke tweets. That guy on fire from Marvel, Disney, or Disney Marvel for a short time. I don't have that twisted of a sense of humor, but still it can be a little twisted. Little twisted, little twisted, little twisted. So yes, let's go ahead. Yeah, we all miss a good humor from back in the day. Gosh, I hate to promote the dude. That dude has plenty of viewers, but the Chase from AV Pop Culture or AVP Pop Culture, whatever his channel's called. Yeah, whatever his channel's called, gets probably got like 1 million subscribers and 1 million watch. Anyway, he always does like top 10 80s movies and stuff like that. And one of the things he talks about doesn't miss is like all these movies. Like it's like, man, this movie definitely could not be made today, but it is freaking hilarious. And kind of talked about one last night, Blazing Saddles. There is no way Blazing the story will be totally go over people's heads of what he was trying to say in this movie, but it will be so canceled. And recently, or not recently, but 2 days ago, I seen the trailer for the new Scary Movie. The Wayans are back at it, and this a trailer alone, it looks like they're making fun of everybody. It's like, yes, that's the way comedy should be. Just make fun of everybody. Who cares if you're offended? Then don't watch. Don't watch, and don't piss on it. Just go. There's safe spaces now. Oh yeah, 48 hours with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. Oh my gosh, ain't no way. Oh gosh, just one other one. And I mean, some of the stuff is like stuff you wouldn't even think about when you watched it back in the day. It's like, what would be the problem with it being shown today? But they'll find ways. What was it? Can't think of it. I totally forgot. Brain fart. Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds couldn't be done today. Even the one scene, the one scene that is problematic, you kind of understand, but still, it's like, it's like you kind of understand, but still, it's like, people didn't think about that. It was just a joke, and of course, the directors. Oh, rest in peace, Robert Carradine, who played the head nerd on the movie. He passed away last week before last. But played in a few other things. I recently seen him in a movie called, what was it called? The Wild Bunch, where it was about the James Gang and stuff like that. A Western movie. That movie was intense. That movie was good. I didn't watch whatever that Disney show he was on, but I think it was last year or the year before that. The Long Riders, not the Wild Bunch. Yeah, okay. There is a Western movie called The Wild Bunch. That movie's intense too, but it's probably a little more intense than The Long Riders. Yes, The Long Riders was one about the James Gang and all. It actually had the Carradine brothers, the Quaid brothers, and some other brothers. But yeah, that movie was good. I rewatched that recently, and man, it's freaking good. Yeah. If you had brothers in Hollywood, they were in that movie. Like I said, the Quaids, the Carradines. Yeah, the Ketchup brothers. Koch brother. Yeah. Oh, Keach. Yeah, Stacy Keach, and yeah. Of course, I just remember Stacy Keach from the TV show Mike Hammer and Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke and one other movie. He was on there. I'm trying to think of that one. Trying to think of this other movie that even if you and they was talking about, yeah, there would not be no way this movie gets made today. And I watched some other countdown recently where Hamburger the movie, I think that's what it was called. Yeah, wouldn't be no way that movie would be shown today. Okay, what was that? Delivery Boy, I think that's what it's called, wasn't it? With Patrick Dempsey. Yeah, I think Pizza Boy or Delivery Boy or something like that. The one where Patrick Dempsey was a pizza delivery guy, then winds up trying to save up some money for to go to college, but winds up being a gigolo. They tell about, yeah, this movie definitely couldn't be made today because of the subject matter. It's like 18 or whatever. He was on that show. I didn't watch that much Titus. I think I watched one episode, and that show came on during a time where I was kind of like almost either a teenager and didn't watch too many TV shows, or it was on Saturdays or something like that, and I just didn't watch it. But I think I did watch like one episode one time. I thought it was funny, and then couldn't remember or didn't care what time it went on, because I think it was on Fox, wasn't it? Or that show didn't really last that long either, did it? I can't remember. Oh. Did it last long or didn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it did not last long. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break here, and we'll get right back to this. We'll watch or start the watch along here. Let me get my stuff set up, so I'll be back after this message. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. If you made it this far in the video, you're having fun, You folks know what to do. Everybody says this, so let's go through the whole routine. If you enjoy it, click on that like button. Also, leave me a comment. Give me your opinions on anything I talk about tonight. Ask questions, or just drop a friendly hello. That's always cool as well. Also, if you enjoy listening to a fan, just like you folks at home, talk about the sport of professional wrestling, be a champ, click on that subscribe button. Now, back to our program. All right, we are back. I forgot to put the link in the chat here, so let's go ahead and do that. Click there, click there. Click that button. Paste. So yeah, like I said, let me know when you're ready. Do the little countdown here. All right. All right, here we go. All right, how you doing? Count down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play now. So yes, Kevin, Mike, and Lance Von Erich there. So here we go. We got Maniac Matt Bourne going against Steve Simpson here. Steve Simpson here, they did bill him from South Africa, but really he's from Red Bank, New Jersey. You can tell right here he's from Red Bank, New Jersey. Actually, a cousin of John Bon Jovi. Steve Simpson's real name is Steve Bon Jovi, but he didn't want to go into music. Decided to get into wrestling, and didn't want to have that Bon Jovi name attached to him. Kind of want to make it on his own, and said I want to drop the Bon Jovi part. Just call myself just regular old Steve Simpson. In all seriousness, no, but yeah, Steve Simpson, yes, really is from Johannesburg, South Africa. Second generation. Actually, we got two second generation wrestlers here. Let's see. Steve Simpson's dad was named Alex Simpson. I guess he wrestled mostly in South Africa. Steve also had a brother named Sean who actually did come down and team with him more often. And I think he had another brother named Stuart. I think he came down like for one 6-man tag on World Class one time, but one time appearance. But yeah, Steve and Sean was the main tag mainly tied together. But yeah, Steve. I'm not sure if he's the oldest brother or whatever, but Matt Bourne, of course. We've talked plenty about Matt Bourne. Matt Bourne, uh, Portland, Oregon star one time, and in world class. Also in Mid South, was part of the Rat Pack with Jim Duggan and Ted DiBiase. Also, once he went to WCW, they're like, yeah, even though we know everybody knows you're Matt Bourne, we're gonna call you Big Josh. Um, yeah. But then he eventually went to the WWF where they put him in clown makeup, call him Doink Clown. That character that especially the Matt Bourne portrayed Doink Clown gets a lot more praise now than it did probably back in the day. I think people, like me and probably some other wrestling fans back in there were like, well, they finally did it. WWF brought in the clown to their circus. Um, but yeah, but now that character kind of gets praised a little more than nowadays, and probably it did back in the day. Even though that they put him over pretty well in the commentary, talking about how Doink was, this guy can definitely wrestle here. Joe King mentions that dug the team of Matt Bourne and Buzz Sawyer. Yes, yeah, oh yeah. Those two made a pretty good tag team. And of course, if you didn't notice there, the manager of Matt Bourne is Personable Percy Pringle III, otherwise known as Paul Bearer. Yes, you gotta replace that bottle blonde to bottle black, and you get Percy Pringle, or get Paul Bearer. But yeah, talking about Steve Simpson. Like I said, yes, I was 100% full bullshit. But I remember the magazine PWI, their year-end awards would have like fans write in their own special awards to people, and they said Steve Simpson and his brother Sean were John Bon Jovi lookalikes. Which I'm pretty sure, yeah, at the time that probably helped him get laid a lot. Especially 87 here, one of the biggest bands in the world at that time was Bon Jovi. Still a pretty big band. They still draw pretty good crowds. And old Bronco Livage, he's a referee here. Of course, Bronco, he's not going to move around too fast. He's not going to slide it belly first down on the ring. He's going to just kind of squat down or kneel over and do the count. But yes, Matt Bourne and Buzz Sawyer were former world-class tag team champions. Now, yeah, more famous as Paul Bearer, but man, when he was just personal Percy Pringle III, he is one of those managers that kind of like a Bobby Heenan and Jim Cornette. If Bobby Heenan and Jim Cornette bumped uglies, they would have Percy Pringle. That would be the outcome of that exchange. But ran his mouth, But yeah, speaking of which, yes, he was a licensed mortician. Uh, he was an EMT before as well. Let's see. Joe King, you hung out with a Von Erich, you will tend to get the runoff. Yes, yes, you will. Joe King also says, I think Percy Pringle was a very underrated manager back then. Yeah. Uh, he knew how to get the heat. Was a manager of Rick Rude and a few others. At this time, I think Rick Rude, was he in Crockett? No, he was probably in the WWF at the time. Ref. Oh, the Broncos seen it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Was that 86 or 87? 87, he might have been Crockett. Yeah, probably Crockett being the tag team champions with Manny Fernandez in 87. See, I can remember shit, but I just sometimes can't remember dates. Dates have numbers. Numbers I'm not good at. Math I'm not good at. Yes, I work for an engineering company, but not that great at math. You ask me a math question, guess what? The phone's coming out and the calculator part is going to come into effect. Yep. The old using ropes to your advantage. And they were a pretty good tag team as well. Mike Davis and Tommy Lane, the Rock and Roll RPMs. He's going up against Roberto Soto and Jeff Rates. And Soto here is a veteran here. Remember, he wrestled in the 70s. He actually was wrestling in Georgia at the time of the split between Gunkel and ABC bookings, or Georgia Championship Wrestling. He went with Gunkel. Oh, okay. So it was 87. 88, he went to Vince. He went to New York. Rick Hazard, a referee. Rick Hazard, not only a referee, he was a wrestler too every now and then. Let's see, Jeff Race I do remember his career. He pretty much stayed around Texas. He didn't really venture out too much, and was pretty much a enhancement talent for World Class and whoever came afterwards. I think he had a little brief stint as a rattlesnake, Jeff Rates. Kind of had the snakeskin boots and all that going on, but that turned out to be, I think, yeah, I think it was still world class. About to go USWA. When you try that out, but didn't really do much for him. And here's two other guys who were uh, pretty much enhancement talents for in the Georgia. Well, I know Mike Davis in the Georgia territory, along with the Florida and Carolina territory. Uh, got a little bit of a push in Florida. Being part of Kevin Sullivan's cult or family. Tommy Lane at one time was called Tommy Rogers. Not confused with the fantastic Tommy Rogers, but Tommy Lane formed a tag team with Marty Jannetty in Central States Territory as the oh shoot Uptown guys, Uptown boys. See, there you go. That's how you miss a drop kick. Go full board with it, not this flat shotgun. Ooh, that's going to be it. The heart attack. And believe it or not, rock and roll RPMs were baby faces in Puerto Rico. I seen some footage where it was the rock and roll RPMs teaming up against the Heartbreakers, Wildcat Wendell Cooley and Frankie the Thumper Lancaster. And Wendell Cooley and Frankie were the heels, and RPMs were the babyface. And at this time, I think Kerry was still out from his motorcycle accident. See, that's mentioned there. 'And just like that, Kevin Von Erich is $30,000 richer. Just out of curiosity, 30, 1, 2, 3. in 1987. It's worth how much today? So $30,000 in 1987 is equivalent to approximately $85,894 in today's money. He's going to take his money because it's real important now. So yes, Brian Diaz, a childhood friend of Kerry Von Erich and the Von Erich family, came into wrestling, was a babyface, and guess they needed a new heel, so they had the childhood friend, the Von Erichs, turn heel against them, and here you go, you got heel Brian Diaz. Perry Jackson, actually would get a little bit of push here and there, in Texas and I think Memphis as well as Action Jackson. And Gary Hart. And of course, 87 that were, well, so that's just a couple years after the um, staph infection from the shoulder injury Mike Von Erich got. So yeah, they got yeah, they got pick on poor Mike. Yeah, the toxic shock syndrome. And gosh, so this is February. Mike would actually pass away in April of 87. That's all right. Uh, gosh, when was it? Not long. Well, it was later on the same year. Al Perez came in. Yeah, I mean, and the bad thing about Mike, if you watch interviews and read stuff and about the Von Erichs, and I think the movie Iron Claw kind of highlighted that as well. Mike didn't want to be a professional wrestler. He just wanted to do other things. I mean, if he was going to do anything in wrestling, he was like, okay, I'll produce or something like that. But he didn't want to be a wrestler. I mean, he was, that was, I mean, his build height was 6'1", but, about, I mean, even before the toxic shock syndrome, I mean, he was kind of skinny and not really built or anything like that. A Russian leg sweep. Can't do it like Brad Armstrong, though. Come on, you didn't use the Oriole spike? Or what was the punch called? Was it the Oriole spike punch Brian Diaz did? I know Terry Gore did Oriole spike, but it's kind of like a nerve hole. Or is it Oriole tool? I forgot what he called it. Oh, Red River Jack. Yeah, I think Terry Gordy was the spike and Brian Diaz was the tool. So yes, Red River Jack here, a very close personal friend of Bruiser Brody. I think Bruiser Brody lost a loser leave towns match here, and so one his good personal friend Bruiser Brody came in and said, "Look, I'll take his booking." He said, he's my buddy, and Red River laid in that chop. I mean, I know Red River and Bruiser, they would kind of favor one. Yeah, don't know who he was. I know he was a close personal friend of Bruiser Brody. Let's listen to what Gary Hart has to say here. So, Gary Hart's accusing Red River Jack of being Bruiser Brody. Man, I don't know. I mean, apparently, they were, been longtime friends, and yes, that was a move that Bruiser Brody taught him, the big boot there. Not sure if he's pulling off as well as Bruiser Brody there, but yeah, they had the same build, the same looks like the same hairstyle and all that. But I mean, that's what friends are do. It kind of one has long hair, of course the other one's going to have long hair. But yeah, I always wondered who he was too. But but kind of sticking to the story of he was a close personal friend of Bruiser Brody. But yeah, but when Bruiser Brody did come back, Red River went back to the Red River, I guess. Yeah, how you like that guardrail right there? Uh, Looks like there's some string on a post. Yeah, well, I mean, every now and then he'll wear like a leather vest coming to the ring or whatever, and take it off. But apparently, look like a Red River. Watch some Hulk Hogan matches too. It's like hey, I got the big boot going, the leg drop, and dang, couldn't get the Killer Tim Brooks. Yeah, uh, that was it. Yes, we were. So, yes, that is Jim Hellwig there, calling himself the Dingo Warrior. And that was, if you're watch the Ultimate Warrior when he was in the WWF, his interviews was quite incoherent, but here as a Dingo Warrior, he was a little bit coherent here. Going against Master G. I believe he. Whoops. I guess Master G, formerly known as George Wells, was actually drafted by the San Francisco 49ers in the fifth round of the 1971 draft. Played college football at New Mexico State. Did not play too much for the 49ers. He mainly stayed in the Canadian Football League, playing for a few different teams there. 3-time college football, or not college football, Canadian Football League All-Star. Or 4-time, excuse me. Sorry, just looking at his bio here. What the hell? Did the Ultimate Warrior just do a crossbody block? Okay, that was a I think he was retired by then. I, that is, yeah, purely speculation. He might came out of retirement and wrestled as Big Dog. I mean, same color hair and everything. And I think George Wells, I think he had a match with Jake the Snake Roberts at WrestleMania 2, if I remember correctly. Everybody's missing their shit. Yeah, if I remember correctly, it didn't last too long. But yeah, then I guess around 87, he came here to World Class, and yeah, where he wrestled the snake. But damn, we're seeing Dingo's like, no, I ain't gonna take a big bump to the floor. Uh-oh, the Dingo is dingoing up now. Yep. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Got to see Jim Hellwig, Ultimate Warrior, Dingo Warrior here, do a cross body block in earlier in the match, and actually did a sunset flip. Holy shit! Now I'm kind of confused. Now, it was Dingo Warrior and the Ultimate Warrior the same person now? I'm confused now. I mean, I was always told Dingo and Ultimate were the same person, Jim Hellwig, but now I'm wondering. Now it's like when Ultimate Warrior left, maybe the smaller version of the Ultimate Warrior was actually the Dingo Warrior here. Am I confusing y'all people? Oh, David Manning. But yeah, you were talking about Bruiser Brody earlier. Yeah, according to this documentary, I think he was in talks to maybe going to the WWF and do a program with Hulk Hogan, and that's where he was going. As far as financially, really clean up. Uh, go up there and make that big money, work the program with Hulk Hogan, and maybe because let's see, 88 he was, according to this, he was 42 years old, had a wife, had a kid. So, and that's what the things I guess the bad things they said about Bruiser Brody, of course, him being kind of a bully and all that. It's mm, I don't know. You think Bruiser would put up with Sid? But yeah, when I seen that one documentary about Bruiser Brody, his wife, I think, said he was in talks of maybe going to the WWF and do a program with Hulk Hogan. Uh, Maybe Bruiser would say, okay, I gotta make this money, take care of my family, put the ego to bed. Oh, Sid against Bruiser Brody. I mean, and we like can imagine it. Okay, let's say we don't know now, or didn't know now, what we know then, whatever. However it works, however the saying works. Man, Sid and Bruiser would be a hell of a tag team. Um, could have had that, veteran with a rookie type, learning tree type deal. When was the Skyscrapers? That's so yeah. So Skyscrapers was 89. So Bruiser would only been 43. So yeah, you had a veteran with a young guy, then maybe they'll split up and do a program. But the thing about it, I think, would a Bruiser would have behaved in WCW? Uh, now put in effect of what we do know now. Sid like, going out playing softball and sometimes not showing up. Now Bruiser and Dan Spivey, good gosh. Well, I think Bruiser was just thinking about where's the bigger money going to be. At that time, the big money was go to the WWF and work with Hulk Hogan. Now Bruiser would have fit better in the NWA, WCW, because at that time it wasn't too silly yet. It was getting there. They didn't quite bring in the Hunchback, but they did bring in the Ding Dongs. And no, I ain't talking about two guys dressed up as yeah. But what was I about to say? I forgot what I was about to say. But yeah, I think from what it seems to me, from what they was talking about in that documentary, Bruiser was at the point of like, okay, I just want to make as much money as possible now. That way, family be set and stuff like that, and because Bruiser was one of these guys who, um, if things went to his liking, he would have he would have he would have made it known. Oh, well, I think it would have been. I think if he told Bruiser the plan is what the plan was, and at that time, I think at that time it wasn't Hogan wasn't on that full. That doesn't. That's not going to work for me, brother mode. Because he didn't have no guarantee contract at the time, and saying that you got 100% control of your character. And then again, Vince wasn't going to do anything. I mean, Hogan was a cash cow at that time, so Vince wasn't going to do anything to mess that up. So I think if he talked to if he now we're just big what if here, what if uh I think Vince would have been honest with Brody and said, potential, you'll have the opportunity to make some good money. We don't do guarantee stuff here, pal. But you'll be working on, we'll build you up, put you with Hogan. And Vince will tell him, it's like, Hogan is going to go over. And that will be a Vince call. That won't be a Hogan call. And I think Hogan would know enough to go, I ain't pulling no shit with him either. Because you got to remember, Hogan worked with Paul Orndorff. And Paul Orndorff didn't take no shit either, but he knew his role. His role was to be the heel at the time and wrestle Hogan. He just had good matches with Hulk Hogan. Astonishing to think of it, but go back and watch some of those matches with Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan. Those were some pretty good matches. No, you're not going to see no moonsaults and hurricanranas, but those were solid matches. It would have been around 88, but so yeah, so WrestleMania 4 was March of 88. And he just made it, at that time, it was just that one movie. No Holds Barred, brother. And that's why Savage got the belt. Yeah, that was, Savage got the belt. Hogan went on to make No Holds Barred. Then the, following year. But it could have been around 87. I'm saying 88, but, because 88 is when Brody passed away or was murdered. And so I'm thinking they were in talks around 87. I think. Or they could have been in talks around 87 but let's see. I don't think I'm pretty sure Dusty and Crockett were not going to sign Brody in 87 or early 88. I mean, heck, Brody, did a few shots for Southern Championship Wrestling from Georgia. But or he could have said, "The heck with them," his money. He made his big money in Japan. It could have been one of those deals too. I mean, and we talking about the what is go to Miss Kitty's in Marietta, Georgia. But or it could have been one of those deals where because Hanson did it. Doc, we just talked about Dr. Death, Steve Wisdom, Terry Gordy. They made most of their career in Japan. Brody might just stayed in Japan. because it's still, it's kind of still up in the air, what caused uh, the murder. Was a money dispute or just uh, what's his name? Jose Gonzalez? Which does remind me, I need to watch that this weekend because just a cheap plug. It will be coming up soon. We got WrestleMania this year coming up, so got my annual classic wrestling. What do I call it? Reminiscing WrestleMania 4. Yes, this year I will be doing WrestleMania 4. But that's later on. But yeah, like I said, it could be one of those deals where he just makes his career in Japan. He's like, okay, I can't do can't do the clown show wrestling, and turn just bought that. They're not going to hire me there. They keep me good over here. They feed me good. They pay me good. I'll stay in Japan. And he still had world class at the time too. So he could, gone wrestle in Texas. Like I said, just mentioned. There's plenty of places where Brody did not have to go to WWF or NWA / WCW. He could have made his money, made a living, in Japan. The big money in Japan. But like I said, world class was still around. Oh yeah, I wish I could find some more of those shows. I'll have to look those up. Get one cranked up on here one evening, one Friday evening. But again, about Bruce Brody, you see somebody see one of the big wrestlers do a big boot. They got it from Brody. I'm saying they got it from Brody. Even though the Barbarians look, Wade Barbarian threw around the big kick, the big boot, looked pretty good. But yeah, it's whoops, no. Yeah, Bob Barbarian. I thought Bob Barbarian was pretty good. I was kind of a fan of his doing that. Even before he did the powers, he was with Paul Jones, but before he had a team with the Warlord, that's the Powers of Pain and all that. Thought he was pretty good. Guy that big, doing that flying headbutt from across the ring. And of course, he was one of the stars of the movie Body Slam. Yeah, maybe one of these days we'll do a movie on here. But that will be one of those deals where, like a weekend afternoon or something like that. Let's see. I think I already know this question, or I already know this answer. Was it Lillian Garcia? We're second show her because they do have a working relationship. Or was it like a random person we know, like non-wrestling personality? Oh, okay, Lillian Garcia. Which, like I said, it's okay. They can show her because they do have a working relationship with the Fed, with the New York. This is classic, wrestling goal. So we'll call it by the name, the New York territory. Good for him. Oh, Hayden Young. I don't know his real name, even though it's been kind of plastered all over the place. Hey, you got the T-shirt, pal. You got the T-shirt. I didn't. I don't know. He wasn't bad. He was okay. So imagine being a guy. Okay, so Hayden Young was kind of I mean, yes, this is Anarchy Wrestling. They did they were hitting on all cylinders at this point. They were every show in this little building that was packing in 300 people, 250, 300 in this small building, but every Saturday that went on for you because they had this angle where a group of wrestlers call themselves the Devil's Rejects, led by Dan Wilson, who was an announcer or a play-by-play guy for NWA Wildside that was in this building as well. Um, he came in with Iceberg, Tank, Azrael, and they formed the Devil's Rejects. And so they were like white hot. So you had these younger guys like Seth Alay, Hayden Young, chicks like and stuff like that. So there was a fan appreciation night. You got a ticket or something like that, and they would they put your name in a bowl or just you bought a ticket. It was like a ticket drawing. Anyway, we'll call it ticket drawing, and they would give away DVDs and they would give away like the Anarchy shirts that said NWA Anarchy. Then they had a Hayden Young shirt. He was a white meat babyface kind of guy. Chicks dug him, and so you're sitting there going, yeah, I want one of those Anarchy shirts or the plain Anarchy shirts, or a DVD or hat or something like that. So here comes a ticket. I don't know what the number was, and it was to give away the shirt that Hayden Young was wearing at that point, autographed by him and everything else. And so imagine you got all these young girls holding that ticket. Oh, the Hayden Young. I want that shirt, the Hayden Young T-shirt, and a full-grown adult male like, okay, I really don't care about the shirt. And just sitting there kind of like this, laid back, because I think they already gave away a DVD or something like that. And, just kind of sitting there, taking a hand, laid back. They call out the number. Here all these girls going, ah! And here's this full-grown adult sit there, looked at me, looked at his ticket, looked at me. Son of a bitch. Motherfucker. And he stood up, not proud of this moment, going, I won. So here's Hayden Young taking off the shirt. The young girls are squealing. It's like, all right, which one of y'all won it? Here's Joe. Well, I did. Oh, okay. Here you go. And okay, another thing about it. Okay, the building had no AC or anything like that. It was hot in there. I forgot that part. That's what made it even more funny, or the story I would used to tell. It's like, oh yeah, it's Hayden Young is out there. He's doing a baby face thing. He's kind of sweating, and wipe the sweat off of him. Girls just want this T-shirt. And here's Joe. Fuck, son of a bitch, motherfucker. Did any of them win the? Did any of y'all win a DVD or something like that? Because did you keep that shirt, or were you able to trade it? But but yeah, I mean, he wasn't that bad. I think he went into the military, then just totally, after coming back from the military, so that just didn't wrestling wasn't his thing, so he didn't make a career out of it. But funny thing is, he was a partner of a wrestler by the name of Awesome Austin Creed, who grew up to become Xavier Woods. Yeah. Not a proud moment there. I'm trying to remember too. Was it one of those deals where you had it like it was like $1 ticket or something like that? Is this one, or you was given the ticket you were given that you paid to see the show? That was your ticket, in the bowl to be drawn. I forgot which one it was. Yeah. After that, I want to say, did you have to pay like $1? I can't remember. It's been so long ago. I remember the winning part. I just can't remember the small little details. Was it your ticket that you paid again, or okay, everybody got a ticket coming in? Okay. But I will say, ever since that day, if people did like a fan appreciation thing, and one of those is a shirt off of another wrestler's back or whatever, and they say, yeah, well, for $1, buy a ticket, $5 get you 10 tickets or some shit like that. How did it fucking do it? Um, and if one of the prizes is the shirt off a wrestler's back, nope. I'll keep my $1. There's a few times I did a 50-50 raffle. And I think tickets and DVD, if it's just like DVDs or something like that, I did. Yeah. I'm just put this way, folks. I am proud to say I didn't win jack shit. If you were ever so happy to not win a prize, given the alternative that I just told here, I was proud to say I didn't win jack shit. Yep. Yep. I mean, I held my head up high and proud and said, so happy I didn't win jack shit. Didn't even win a frisbee. I did not care. Because worst case scenario is what I just talked about. Yes, we did. Yes, you did get TNA tickets one time. That was cool. Center State. No, Tabernacle, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was a Tabernacle. Or was it Center State? No, it was Tabernacle. Is the Tabernacle even exist anymore? See, this is, folks, when you get this age, you just get. I know they still have the Masquerade, but the Masquerade is in a different location. The Punchline Comedy Club is in a different location as well. I mean, I don't listen to much local radio music, but the Tabernacle is where, the and Masquerade too is where not the big bands would play at. Seen Local H there. I think comedians performed there as well. Yeah, I think kind of it was downtown Atlanta, so yeah, and one way or the other, they were all kind of close to each other. But yeah, a lot of musical acts. I remember seeing Local H and Veruca Salt there at no, this says Masquerade. Seen Local H as well at the Tabernacle. Seen Seven Dust at the Tabernacle. That was an awesome fucking show. Yeah, I wouldn't know either. Like I said, I don't listen to local radio stations. Because 9 times out of 10, it's like when I'm usually working out of town now, and the few times I do, I don't remember hearing anybody talk about the Tabernacle, unless they changed names too. Like the first time I seen Steel Panther, it was at Center Stage. I know a lot of people go to Center Stage now, perform at Center Stage, or the Roxy, because that was the second time I seen Steel Panther. Don't judge me. I found them. I told you I have a sophomore sense of humor. Don't judge me. Okay, yeah, El Nino and Element 80, El Nino opened up for Seven Dust, and that's yeah. Me and Ricky went to that one. Yeah, I think it was for my birthday that year. She bought me 2 tickets. She wasn't going because she the girl I was staying at the time, that definitely wasn't her music. And I think I did that I want to say did I do that for her for like a birthday or Christmas too? So it's kind of like a little payback. Not really payback, but or was it for some? I don't know. I might not have done that for her. I can't remember. But yes, yeah, Element 80, they rock. El Nino, they kicked ass, but Seven Dust, man, they were fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. And I think you and Gary or you and Scott went to wrestling because it was on a Anarchy night. And I think either you or Gary or no, I think Gary was doing time. So it might have been you and Scott went to Anarchy that night. Or you might have dragged Brenda there. But yeah. But yeah, it was me and Ricky went checked out. I mean, like I said, it's probably one of man, it was a hell of a show. Great show. I mean, it was one of those few bands. They sound. I mean, the music, the singing, heck, it almost sound about the same or better live than they did on CD. Right? Yeah, was it 2007? Yeah, that's about right. But yeah, that's hell of a show. And of course we now the Masquerade is the one that had the Sean Shocker Evans tribute show. Damn. I did not. Well, I know. I mean, I know Gary went to jail, but I didn't realize it was the same day that uh, the Benoit thing happened. Yeah, the Sean Shocker Evans thing. That was freaking cool. Lita looked a whole lot better in person than she did on TV. I mean, yeah, she was attractive on TV, but seeing her like right there talking to her, holy shit, she was pretty fucking hot. I'm pretty sure she's still kind of hot. But yeah, she was there with her band. Of course, the usuals. Yeah, she talked to me. Yeah, she talked to me. We talked. And I mean, she was very cool though. I mean, just sitting there talking to me. I mean, I don't know if she thought. I don't think she would have thought I would be a wrestler. Yeah, she was a little shorter than me, and I'm 5'8". But yeah, I thought she'd been like 5'10" or something like that. But but her band performed. They were pretty good. Um, let's see, the usual suspects. Tank Iceberg was there. A lot of the Georgia guys. Brad Armstrong was there. Um, at the time, there was a tag team in TNA that a lot of people liked, called the Diamonds in the Rough. David Young and Elite Skipper, they were there. Raven was there. But yeah, that was a good show, and it was for a good cause too. But oh, Dwayne Bruce was there. The Sarge. Yeah, he did. I think wasn't him and Bagwell there. They didn't wrestle. They just did autographs. I think, didn't they? Or yeah, Watts was there. Eric Watts, not Bill Watts. Bill Watts. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Bill Watts, but I dug his promo. I didn't work for him. I dug his promotions. I dug Miss South and UWF. Yeah, Kenyon was there. Yeah, I think Kenyon was like the main organizer for it. So kudos to Chris Kanyon for that one. And of course, I watched. We'll say Chris for that. Chris Kanyon was pretty cool. I won't say anything bad about Chris Kanyon, but I'm going off what I seen on Dark Side of the Ring. Yeah, I mean he was kind of friendly towards everybody. Everybody, not friendly, like nice, like hey, how you doing, brother? How you doing? Stuff, not hi. Kind of like Lita was. Lita was says, hey, who's the baby face and who's the heel in this match? And I would tell her. I mean, but yeah, she was fucking cool. And like I said, way more attractive in person than she looks on TV. But yeah, the TNA show we went to, it was just like a regular house show. That was pretty good. Trying to think, and that was at a Tabernacle, like I said. Yeah, I'll look it up later. Tabernacle is even still around. Because even when I looked at Ticketmaster for stuff every now and then, or I see like people being advertised that's coming to Atlanta on Facebook, I never see anything like Tabernacle. Mickey James, she's you got the picture and autograph. Mickey James is another person or another lady who looked better live than on TV. And I tell you another one. I don't know if you remember. One time I went to a WCW Saturday Night taping in Center Stage, and another woman who was way more attractive live than on TV, and that was Sherry Martel. I mean, I don't know if you remember, when she came out with Harlem Heat, and I looked over, I'm like, holy shit, Sherry Martel's kind of freaking hot. I guess I'll say one more too. That was, yeah, Sherry was awesome though. But yeah, lot of memories, lot of good memories. Memories. Anyway, let's see. Oh, so it is still active. And like I said, I wouldn't know. I'm pretty sure if I went on their website and looked up all the acts that are coming there, I wouldn't be able to. I'm guessing I won't be able to know who any of those people are. I guess I look at it now. Oh. 152 Lucky Street, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia. So, okay, it's still around. Let's see here. Shows. So we got Small Town Murder. Never heard of them. Blood Orange XX Honey Tour. Couldn't name them. Humby. Dueno del Cielo Tour. Couldn't tell you. Bridget Everett. Who is Bridget Everett? Big titties, big dreams. All right, I might be interested in seeing that. That's next week. That's next Friday. Well, I can't see it then. But I don't think I know who she is. Her face looks kind of familiar, but um, DVSN, couldn't tell you. HBCU, Awarefest, Dion Cole, and somebody else. Wait a minute. Might be somebody. It might be somebody here I know. Haley Williams. I think I know who that is. I'll be damned. I think I know who that is. Of course, you gotta have the tribute bands. Zoso, the ultimate Led Zeppelin experience. Okay, Juvenile. I know who Juvenile is. Starvos. Oh, fuck it. Who cares? Ah. Okay. Well, Zara Lawson. Hot. Looks like a hot chick, but don't know who she is. Finally got somebody I know who they are. Thursday, April 9th is Black Label Society. Friday, April 10th, Halloween 40th. Halloween 40th anniversary North American tour. Ali Wong. Don't know who she is. Let's see. Black Keys I've heard of. Avatar. Don't know who that is. Blackville Brides. I've heard of them. I think I know one of their songs. I think that was the guy who was in that movie American Satan. I think it was called. A movie made by. I think it was produced by Fangora. Actually, a pretty good little indie movie. Hey, Bill Burr, I know who he is. Let's see, Akash Singh. Yeah, I know of him. Kill Switch Engage, Wednesday, June 17th. AJ Gint and his singing guitar. Not sure who he is. And that's it. So yeah, yeah. So yes, unfortunately, I do know who Haley Williams is and have no interest in seeing her. Wasn't that huge of a fan of Paramore. Paramore is just one of those bands that, people talked about them. So when I finally heard them, I was like, oh, just kind of like a Timu, before the term Timu was Kmart. Okay, here's our Timu line. Paramore was the Kmart Evanescence. Oh, they had a couple good songs, but that's about it. But yeah, Juvenile. I know who he is, but I can't. I guess I can't name one of his songs though. And it's probably gonna be one of those deals where I'm gonna feel stupid. when I look his shit up. Okay. Yep. I feel stupid. Halloween went too bad. So yeah, I feel stupid now because yeah, back that ass up. That's the only song I know about Juvenile. Mm. Oh, Juveniles. Pretty sure it's the same one everyone else has. Closing these windows up. Anyway. Oh, you didn't know I was a no limit soldier. Yeah. uh, yeah, I'm not that big on rap music, so I knew that it's one of those things that were they were big. Then Master P. Is he the one that says I got 5 on it? Or anyway, I ain't doing nah. Wasn't that a big fan of rap music, so my knowledge of rappers is not that grand. Doug DMX, DMX was cool. DMX, shit. Oh, okay, yeah, that was his sister. I just remember them being on WCW and annoy the shit out of me. Bones, Thugs and Harmony. I liked a couple of their songs. Early NWA. I think I liked NWA because you know, when I think NWA, I'm thinking National Wrestling Alliance. So it's like, well, hell, they're NWA. Uh, some Snoop Dogg stuff was okay too. Dr. Dre, Tupac. See that now you're gonna get me on this other subject talking about the people I just named were like stars. Now some of these people who coming out, they're not even going to be thought of in the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, Tupac, he was a star. DMX was a star. Dre, star. Snoop Dogg, star. Even though definitely not one of my favorites. Eminem, star. Still doing it today. And what I mean by star, people who didn't listen to rap music that much knew who they were. Some old people knew who they were. Who the hell is this Snoop Poopy Dog? Anyway, damn. It's already almost 10:30. Anyway, so think I'm wrap things up here. We got. See, that's what I'm talking about, folks. If you're watching this, that's what we do. We talk a little bit wrestling and talk a little bit about pop culture shit on all my live streams. Went from talking about classic wrestling. And of course, in the beginning, I kind of just kill some time, babbling some bullshit. Got some wrestling. Learned a few things. Talked about Doc and Gordy and a few of those legends. Then watched some World Class. Talked about them. Talked a lot about Bruiser Brody. Then we got on the subject of venues and where we've seen wrestling. Talked about Joe here win a T-shirt from an indie wrestler who is now about to marry Lillian Garcia, or is married now to Lillian Garcia. But anyway, yep. But as far as tonight, going to call it a night. Like I said, if you watched it, if you didn't watch this live, you're watching the not live cast. Hey, leave your comments on. Give me some ideas of shows or promotions you like to do a watch along on. Trying to keep them between 1970 and 1999. And it's very hard to find stuff in 1970 on YouTube and everything else. So, there's this one website I think you might be able to find some stuff, but even on there, I can't remember the site. I got bookmarked though. But like I said, that does it for me tonight. Hopefully everybody has a great weekend. You folks have a good one. Take it easy. And until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Ronald Ray here saying thank you for checking out my video. If you don't mind, go ahead and click that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and share this video with family and friends. I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe to RP2 Vision, where I cover the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. Now don't forget to click the notification bell as well, so you'll be notified when my other weekly content is available, like Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, WWE Raw Recap, and AEW Dynamite Recap. I also have 2 live streams. Every Thursday at 8 p.m., it's Spot Show Live Stream, where I discuss the latest news in professional wrestling. And on Friday nights at 8 o'clock p.m., it's Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where I discuss the good old days of professional wrestling. When wrestling was wrestling, wrestling was real because it's still real to us. Folks, have a good one and take it easy.